The European Union rejected a call from the British government to overhaul the Northern Ireland Johnson Protocol, a key tenet of the agreement that saw the UK leave the EU in 2020. UK Brexit Minister David Frost and Secretary of State for Northern Ireland Brendan Lewis on Wednesday set out a command paper urging European leaders to renegotiate the Johnson Protocol on the basis that it has turned out to be unworkable in practice. They haven't even tried to put that in place. There you go. We are ready to continue to seek creative solutions within the framework of the protocol in the interest of all communities in Northern Ireland, the European Commission said in a statement late on Wednesday. However, we will not agree to a renegotiation of the protocol. The deal was negotiated and signed by the British government in 2019 and ratified by the British Parliament. But the government, with the same Prime Minister, is now seeking to renege on its commitment due to the challenges arising from its implementation. The Johnson Protocol, in principle, helps prevent customs checks and an effective land border between Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK, and Ireland, which of course remains in the EU. However, it has led to port inspections on goods travelling between Great Britain and the North, a development that has angered businesses and drawn criticism for effectively creating a border in the Irish Sea, but it's only for goods. This has stoked historical sectarian tensions in Northern Ireland on the Unionist side. Secretary of State for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy Kwasi Kwarteng told Sky News on Thursday that nobody could guarantee the effects of the Northern Ireland Protocol until we left the EU. That would be a surrender note by any government. Kwarteng also claimed the agreement wasn't written in stone, despite it being written into international law. Christopher Grenville, Managing Director for EMEA and Global Political Research at T.S. Lambert, told CNBC on Thursday that the process of kicking the can down the road on Northern Ireland has already begun, with a 3-month extension in place until September of a grace period on food and other products being transported between Great Britain and the North. The British government said in its command paper that it believes the current situation satisfies the criteria for invoking Article 16 of the protocol, which allows for its suspension in the case of serious economic difficulties. No, it doesn't, and they should finally read the whole thing. However, it has expressed reluctance to trigger this clause just yet. The EU, Grenville said, will take the position that the party cannot claim serious difficulties before the full terms of the agreements have been implemented. These positions point to the following kind of negotiations. The EU rejects the UK proposal for an honesty box approach to goods shipments from Great Britain to the North. But the EU will propose fast-track regulatory checks on shipments of foodstuffs arriving in the North from Great Britain, with additional facilitations for trusted traders, Grenville explained. To the extent that such negotiations produce any agreements, both sides will be able to claim victory. The UK will say that it has renegotiated the protocol. The EU will say that it has found the best way to implement the protocol. However, Grenville noted that such agreements will be difficult to establish, and there will be cliffhangers as the grace periods approach their expiry dates and the parties come out with the usual threats of withdrawal and litigation. While these disputes grabbed the headlines, Grenville said the crucial reality unfolding beneath the surface will be a fundamental shift in supply chains, and that already has started. We have all seen that. But he says, essentially, these will shift from east-west, that means Britain, Northern Ireland, to north-south, that means the North and Ireland, with Ireland in this context meaning both Ireland in its own right as a channel for shipment from all the rest of the EU, he explained. This adjustment will mean over time, even in time for Christmas, that there will be no empty shelves in Northern Ireland supermarkets, on the basis of which UK politicians could invoke the serious economic difficulties criterion of Article 16. British businesses such as Marks & Spencer that are facing delays in fresh produce delivery from Great Britain to Northern Ireland would then have to either expand their supply chains within the Republic of Ireland, Grenville suggested, or leave their Northern Irish market share to be taken up by a company operating in the Republic or the broader EU. But as far as I know, Marks & Spencer is working in Ireland. So where's the problem? James Smith, developed markets economist at ING, said there are two possible ways the renewed standoff could affect the British economy. A positive, though seemingly unlikely outcome, is that the UK government opts to align more closely to EU food standards after all, removing barriers not only for Great Britain Northern Ireland trade but also on exports to the EU, he told CNBC on Thursday too. But with trust between both sides clearly low, I would meanwhile say subsurface, but okay. The bigger near-term question is whether further legal steps are taken by Brussels that eventually culminate in tariffs and, in a negative scenario, some form of mini-trade war, he says. Although things may not get that far in reality, Smith said, such a scenario would reintroduce disruption to UK exports, which have partially recovered from the sharp decline in January, after the UK's formal separation from the Union. At a bigger macro level, however, the effects of COVID-19 are still likely to dominate the outlook over the coming months, with the impact of Brexit likely to have a less noticeable impact on GDP in the short term, Smith added. So it's still covered up. T.S. Lombard's Grenville suggested that the main opposition Labour Party in the UK may push for the easy and instant solution of aligning with the EU's food standards, which Prime Minister Boris Johnson's pro-Brexit Conservative government will be reluctant to do, as it undermines the sovereignty at the core of its electoral platform. He anticipates that if the process of kicking the can down the road lasts until the Northern Irish elections next May and present polling remains consistent, pro-Irish Republican Party Sinn Féin will emerge as the largest single party in the devolved Northern Irish Assembly. I haven't yet got a clear view for now on exactly how this might change the political dynamic over the protocol dispute, but it will surely do so, Grenville said. And I think that will do as well. But dragging that until May, the patience of the EU is quite low right now. I don't think they can do that, but we will see. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.